Alright, hello and welcome. So, we need to talk about Tennolive and kind of a little bit of the information kind of surrounding Tennolive as well. The big deal thing here is, of course, the Plains of Eidolon. So, the Plains of Eidolon are big. This was the huge reveal that, came off the top, and it's a lot. It's a lot to unpack about what we're going to be seeing there. So I'm going to pop this stuff up here. Here's some screenshots from it. It is the landscapes feature for Warframe. A lot of planets are going to be getting these in the future, but Earth is the first. It is a large open world area for us to explore, which is pretty different from what we're normally doing in Warframe and is pretty exciting. So let's just go over some of the main points. We're going to have our main village, which is Cetus, which is an Ostron village. Ostron are a new faction, as it were. They have their own language. That's the language that was in the teaser, leading up to Tennolive and such. We're going to be able to construct and name weapons. Here are some examples of the modular weapons that we saw. Basically, we're going to get the individual pieces of these weapons and then be able to put them together and name them. So that's going to be pretty interesting. And there's a day-night cycle. There are a bunch of new resources. There's fishing that's involved. It looks a lot. It's spear fishing, but it is so FF15 that it is nigh unbelievable how FF15 it is, which is not a bad thing. I really like the fishing in FF15, so I'm down for it. And yeah, so that is like the main during the day stuff. There's going to be arc wings to assist your movement, and it's supposed to be coming this year. The goal right now is late summer, so that is not that far away, which is a bit shocking, although it seemed to be in a pretty good state at Tennolive, honestly. They did a very, very good job of showing it off. And the big thing that is going to be at the end of this video, that I'm going to throw like the main trailer for it into the video at the end here, are the Eidolon. So at night, basically what's going to happen is there's going to be gigantic sentients that rise up out of the ground that are like Shadow of the Colossus-esque in stature that need to be fought and killed for your higher like endgame-esque challenge type stuff. So this is going to be available earlier on in the game, and like the daytime stuff is going to be probably in that like low mid balance enemies, like between 20 and 40, let's say, where players are going to be able to encounter that stuff and be fine. If you're like a new player, that'll be one of the things you're introduced to pretty early on. But the Eidolon fights and the stuff at night is going to be more geared towards players who are like way down the line. Along with this, we got some of the other things that were talked about in relation to the Plains of Eidolon, which is the operator armor, which there are a couple concepts of. So this stuff is basically going to be the extension and kind of fixing of some of the operator stuff that we have right now. They said on stage that like basically they want to change the operators and like mature them to be warrior types that can fight alongside Warframes, as opposed to what they are now. Basically, the Hero Quest kind of showed some of like the bigger issues to them of like the operators need to be better, so we're going to be getting that. The armor will have stats and progression. That stuff's very, very important. And the weapons of the operators are also going to be modular, like we showed with these. They're going to be built out of pieces, so you can kind of customize them however you want them, which is very important. There is one other thing that was not... also, there is an in-game... not in-game. It's an actual model of some of the armor that's going to be in-game that we have to see as well. There is one thing that was not talked about on stage, and I have not been able to accurately like source the exact location of where this information came from, but we have this. This is a set bonus mod. I could not figure out exactly where this screenshot is from, but I think that this is going to be something that we're going to be seeing in the Plains of Eidolon, and potentially either like a second mod page for our items, or alternatively a mod page for our operator, to get like an extra like way like top level of power that can be added to like both our Warframes and our operators at like the same time. That's just a theory. I don't have any confirmation on that stuff, but it's worth noting that like this has not been confirmed by anyone at DE. They won't talk about it, so yeah. there's that. It's really interesting, and there's like potential for some like really cool stuff like with set bonus mods in Warframe that would be really, really interesting to see. So with that, let's move on to let me drop down here. Go to some of these, turn off the plains. Okay, so roll these down. There's so many notes. This is set bonus mods. So on stage, I just want to like mention this really quickly. It was mentioned. It was a question of should Trinity be nerfed, and I just want to make a point here. It is worth noting that yes, Trinity is quite good. She can give 75% damage reduction and fully heal her entire team. It is worth noting that that barely meets the requirements for a Blessing Trinity to sometimes be taken into a raid format where it is the absolute most useful. So, I'd like to remind everyone that Bless right now is like barely meeting the requirements for us, like a good support in Warframe. It's not something you're seeing in like every mission, and even in the scenario where it's like LOR, where that's real good there, it's like, maybe we'll take that. Sure, I guess, if it's available. It's not a requirement for like raids, and in JV, honestly, it's like completely irrelevant whether or not you take a Blessing Trinity. So, reminder that Blessed Trinity is not OP at all. Like, it's like a consideration that maybe you would take as support sometimes. EV is quite good, and also actually like means that like Trinity gets invited to places to do like farms and stuff. Like, she's meeting the bar for that. So, reminder that Trinity's not really like outrageously OP or something. She's like at the level of, oh yeah, that's a good support. We just don't have other good supports to compete with her. So yeah, reminder that that is the case with Trinity. She's like not like some end-all be-all god. She like barely gets taken for support roles outside of EV. Like, Bless is not like crazy insane anymore. Moving on from that, we're apparently getting a pack of new melee stances with Plains of Eidolon to go with our modular weapons. I think it was said that it's like going to be a pack of like maybe 6, which means I'm expecting like maybe 3. So more stances is good though. Hopefully specifically polearm stances. Like a new really good polearm stance would be real nice, and I would like to see that quite a bit. Then we had the Stalker mode that was shown off at TennoCon. That I'm really hoping gets like some tiny implementation into the game, because it was really cool to watch. But if they went with like a super limited implementation into the game where, say, like you can get it as a login reward and you get 1 invasion of somebody or something, that could be like really, really cool if there are like special like cosmetics or rewards associated with that. Like if you defeat a player Stalker or something, that would be really, really awesome. So I just kind of wanted to mention that real quick. And there's the Warframe Comic. I'm going to put a link in the description to the first issue of the Warframe Comic. It's real good. It is really, really good art, and it kind of shows like some sides of the Grineer that we haven't really seen in the past, and also some of the new enemy types that we're going to be seeing in the game. Then we got to talk about the new primes, which we have right here. So this is going to cycle through and show everybody. We have Hydroid Prime, of course, who looks great. This is the Sugatra that we're going to be getting with that Prime access. There's also an armor set in here, which I believe is the next image. I know, we're getting the Ballista, the Ballistica Prime, which is interesting. I'm not a fan of the Ballistica set, but, you know. Nami and Skilla, these are dual swords. These are probably going to be outstanding, and they look super great, so hard to complain there. And then last thing is the armor. This armor looks dope. I don't think this Prime Accessories is going to be a hard sell. I think it's going to be a pretty easy sell, actually. But yeah, Hydroid Prime looks great. He's going to be getting reworked before his Prime comes out. I'm really, really hoping that that rework is great. If Hydroid becomes like an A-tier Warframe, I will be very, very happy. And then beyond that, we have the Glass Warframe that had the model shown. This is the work in progress model, of course. So basically, this is a new Warframe. The theme is glass. And it's going to have some, like, it's not like, how should I put this? Like, the way that they put it is that it's going to deal with, like, molten glass and, like, things that are not, like, strictly, like, I don't know. They described it in a weird way that doesn't, like, make a ton of sense, but the theme is glass, and the design looks cool, so hopefully it's good. I'm hoping for some maybe, like, form-changing glass armor on the Warframe which could be really neat. But yeah, there's that. And then we have the Ghoul Enemies. Like I said, those are in that comic that is in the link down below, so that's cool. They have this big dope saw, which at the art panel was said that we are going to get that big dope saw, so look out for that. The Ghoul Enemies look pretty interesting. I wonder like what kind of unique stuff they're going to have. But they're super weirdos, and I'm pretty down to fight them. We're also going to be getting a new Grineer bundle of this new weapon, or these 2 new weapons, rather, and another Grineer armor set, which, worth noting, I think this is probably the best Grineer, like, armor pieces that we've seen. It's pretty nice. I like it a lot better than the Kuva pieces. So, there's that as well. And moving on. The Wraith/Vandal weapons, they showed some like color channels that are going to be coming for the Wraith and Vandal weapons, so those are going to be recolorable pretty soon, which is going to be pretty awesome to see, so that I can color Strun Wraith, finally. Good lord. And probably that. And then beyond that, we got the teaser for Excalibur Umbra, which, I'm not going to lie, I don't care. Like, it's not that I don't care, it's that we've known Umbra is coming for like so long, that like, until we know what Umbra is, I have ceased to care about Umbra. The Plains of Eidolon stuff looks fucking awesome, and I'm super hyped. Like, Shadow of the Colossus-sized enemies, a big open world area, like, lots of really, really cool things can happen in that. But for Umbra, which is going to be our cinematic quest for the year, I kind of just don't care until I know that Umbra is not just, like, a prime, basically, but it's called Umbra now. Like, that is the big main thing that I don't want to be the same. So, yeah. That's kind of what's up. Hopefully, I broke that down nice and fast for you guys. And also, I'm going to be streaming today, so come check out the stream. And, right, also, the Plains of Eidolon trailer is at the end of this video, so I hope you guys enjoy that, and I will see you tomorrow.